Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another exciting day in Griffin Athletics. We had one of these, was that in May, April, May? So another exciting day for Griffin Athletics, and again, it's an honor for me to be here. I'm Dave Riggert, the radio voice at Missouri Western State University, and also the sports director at 680 KFEQ and ESPN 1550. And before we get started, it is my honor to recognize some special guests in the audience today. If you are an elected official, will you please stand? Any elected officials? There are a few. Thank you for joining us today. Any members of Missouri Western's Board of Governors, Foundation Board, Alumni Association Board, or Gold Coat Board, will you please stand and be recognized as well today? Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support to help make this day possible. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Missouri Western's president, Dr. Robert Vardabedian. Dr. Vardabedian has been president at Missouri Western since 2008. Under his leadership, there have been tremendous growth in academic programs, international student enrollment, and online courses. There's been tremendous growth and transformation of Missouri Western's campus. There's been an academic building, a residence hall, the Griffin Indoor Sports Complex as well, and the Spring Sports Complex have all been constructed under his leadership. Dr. Vardabedian is a passionate supporter of student athletes. There aren't many Griffin games that I'll be broadcasting at, or most of you will be at, that you won't see Dr. Vardabedian as well. He fully understands the value of a successful athletics program in evaluating the stature of the university. And before we bring up Dr. Vardabedian, we'd also like to recognize his wife, Dr. Laurel Vardabedian, who is also a great supporter of Missouri Western and an integral part of campus life here at Missouri Western. Laurel, please stand. Did she stand? There she is. Thank you very much for being here. And now it is my pleasure, Dr. Robert Vardabedian.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to have you here today. We certainly appreciate it. And you're probably aware of the Walter Cronkite Memorial. We have some people here who are visiting the memorial. And Walter took pride in speaking no faster than 124 words per minute. I will go about twice that fast so that we don't have people passing out in this heat. And I'm sure you'll appreciate that. Sorry, Walter. Thank you so much. Just 3 months ago, as Dave pointed out, we were gathered on the concourse of the Spratt Stadium, soon to become the new Spratt Stadium, to celebrate the groundbreaking of that facility. And that was the first renovation we've had of this facility in 35 years, so that was a big day. And today, of course, is another big day. Well, as you look behind me, you can see that we're well on our way to making that a finished product. We'll be ready for fall sports. In terms of spectators coming in, probably a huge crowd for the Northwest Missouri game on Halloween. And then in the spring, the entire facility will be complete with all the final touches. What we've done so far is moved the field 32 feet closer to our home fans, which I think will be a very positive thing for fan enjoyment and student-athlete enjoyment in terms of the crowd being into things. And that's been a big deal. And, of course, the turf that we have now is also a recent addition that will be part of the mix of things in the new Spratt Stadium project. Well, today we want to announce what we consider to be a finishing touch on Phase 1 of the new Spratt Stadium. And the man standing, or actually sitting in front of me, Steve Craig, has very generously agreed to donate an LED video scoreboard worth, I'm sure, at least $1 million, which would make that gift the largest gift that we've had in the history of our athletic program. So, Mr. Craig, once again, thank you very, very much for your generosity. And we'll actually unveil the rendering of this incredible video scoreboard as I speak. Dave, drum roll. There it is. There it is. Okay. And there's some, looks like it's getting a standing ovation. Wonderful. Yeah, there's some details associated with this LED video scoreboard that Kurt McGuffin, our athletic director, will share with you. But anyone who knows Steve Craig knows that it will be absolutely first class, and we appreciate that among many other things about Steve Craig, our guardian angel. Not only has Steve now given us the largest gift in athletic history. Previously, he gave us the largest gift in the entire university's history in terms of overall gift. And just to refresh your memory on that and how much we appreciate Mr. Craig, initially that gift was $5.5 million bucks. And after the sale of the asset that he contributed to us, it turned out to be $7.8 million bucks. And so we don't get too many gifts that increase in value that significantly. So thank you very much, Mr. Craig. Thank you, Mr. Craig. You add that to this LED video scoreboard, and we're approaching the $9 million range in terms of his various gifts to the university. So we can't thank Mr. Craig enough. And of course, that makes him, by far the largest outright gift giver or donor to this university and in our university history. And one of the words that we use a lot when we talk about Missouri Western is transforming lives. And believe me, his gifts, this most recent one included, are transformational gifts in terms of what they will do for this university and community. Thousands and thousands of people over the years, fans, etc., will be experiencing this video scoreboard, and it's a variety of sports. It's not only football, it's soccer, and it's not only that. Of course, the summer training camp will appreciate a video scoreboard like that. We have marching band competitions, graduation out here, spring graduation, so a variety of audiences will appreciate his kind gift. And certainly the atmosphere that we will have with this, the renovated stadium, of course the indoor stadium that we have, I think will be second to none. And thank you very much for being a part of that, Mr. Craig. We greatly appreciate it. We had a capital campaign kickoff that some of you attended in mid-January. And at that point, we set a goal of $20 million. And that's just, 7 or 8 months ago. And, thanks to this most recent gift by Mr. Craig, we're getting very close within the first 8 months, 7 or 8 months of that campaign of reaching that goal. So thank you for that as well. And of course, this will be a wonderful gift to a lot of people for many, many years to come. In the end, and again, Kurt McGuffin, our AD, will talk more about this, I think this will make the experience, the Spratt Stadium experience, unlike any other, certainly in Division II, but also in many ways, including Division I, and again, we'll hear more about that later. So, as I've said, many times before in terms of some of the other wonderful things that Mr. Craig has done for us, thank you very much, Mr. Craig. You're making a huge difference in this university and this community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vardabedian. And it's now my pleasure to introduce the man leading the Spratt Stadium renovation project, including the new video board, and that is Missouri Western Athletic Director Kurt McGuffin. Kurt began his duties here at Missouri Western in 2011. Under his leadership, Griffin student-athletes have achieved the highest cumulative GPA on school record. 3 teams have won MIAA championships in his time here, and many others have competed for titles. Kurt also serves on the steering committee of the Centennial Capital Campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt McGuffin.
Thanks, Dave. I think it was a little over a year ago, I got to go out to California and visit Steve at his house. He opened up his house. Usually when some people go out there, you think you're going to stay in a hotel. Steve is one of those welcoming people that opened up his house and let Coach Partridge and I stay out there. And I think what we saw every time we went to one of his malls or anything else that he's done is a great pride in what he does and how first class he does everything. And I just simply want to say thank you, Steve, and for that and everything you've done for us so far, and we'll get you up here to talk about it. But the next time we have a press conference down here, this board might be big enough so it doesn't burn my head, because it's going to be a nice structure. I mean, it's going to be, as you can tell, it's going to be about 70 feet tall. In fact, when it's built, it might be the same height almost as the press box when it's built up there on top of the hill here. So we're pretty excited about that. In surface area, it's going to be over 2,500 square feet, just right at 2,500 square feet. And believe me, when we talk about video boards, when we say we have the biggest in the Division II in as far as viewing, we will have the biggest in Division II and the best in the MIAA. So appreciate that. In fact, it'll be bigger than a couple of rivals, big rivals that won't play each other, MU and KU down the road. So we're pretty happy for that as well. Facilities are a big part of what we do. and whether it's on campus or in athletics or wherever. And it's an important piece because it brings in student athletes, coaches, as well as general students. And we've definitely made our mark here in the last 5 or 6 years. Obviously, the Chiefs, the city, the county, the state helped us with the Griffin Indoor Sports Complex, and that was probably the kickoff of what we really needed to make happen here in the next 5 years. The Spring Sports Complex, Looney, we'll do some renovations in Looney, but really this is the final piece of this stadium project that we've worked so hard to accomplish. And believe me when I say athletics is a revenue producer, yes, but we always need more revenue. So this piece here for us, we haven't even calculated the amount of money that we're going to sell, corporate sponsorships, advertising, the things that will happen when all these fans enter and leave Chiefs camp every year. It's going to be an important piece for us because it will showcase everything we have on this campus every day on that screen. And that screen's going to be ginormous because it's going to be beautiful. The screen itself, like I said, 60 feet wide by 38 feet, or 68 feet tall by 65 feet wide by 38 feet tall, is going to be massive, and we're really excited for that. And it's just amazing what we can do here, and everything's possible. And Steve, we appreciate all that support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kurt. It's now my honor to formally introduce a man known to many of you as Steve Craig. Steve was born in St. Joseph and graduated from Savannah High School. He is founding partner, president, and CEO of Craig Realty Group of Newport Beach, California. Got to start in business operating fireworks stands here in St. Joseph. He can probably share some stories about that in his teenage years. Craig left the area to pursue his education and career, receiving his Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from the University of Southern California. Fight on Trojans, right? But he never forgot his home. He has been an active supporter of many local charities, including the Albrecht Camper Museum of Arts and the YWCA. Even before the generous financial gifts to Missouri Western that have been mentioned, he was a frequent guest lecturer for business classes and continues to give a lot of his time by mentoring those involved in the applied entrepreneurship program he conceived and implemented here at Missouri Western. Please join me and welcome to the podium, Steve Craig.
Well, thank you everyone for coming out today. And before I get started with my formal remarks, there's a couple people I'd like to acknowledge, if you'll just bear with me a second. And maybe if they would kind of wave their hands. There's two of them. Alex Berner, who's waving and kind of shyly, a little higher, and Louis Triani. Those are the two gentlemen who have been responsible for this scoreboard. Louis first worked with me for about 3.5 years as we surveyed this area and began planning this scoreboard, and a lot of the creativity and experience that he has is what has culminated into that design. Now, I will take credit for the fireworks launcher that's on top of it because that was my idea. Alex is the person that will make sure that this thing is properly built and maintained over the next many years that it's in use. And Alex comes from us from Peoria, Illinois, and now heads up our electronics group called Multimedia LED. Alex Berner, Louis Triani, thank you guys very much. Well, I'm very honored to have our family named being placed on this incredible new sporting field. I'm also very grateful to have the financial resources to be able to help make this dream become a reality. But there was a time during our illustrious history of this city, the city of St. Joseph that is, that great civic projects like the one we're here to celebrate today were pretty much commonplace. One doesn't have to look too far to look at some of the great examples of that, starting with our amazing parkway system, which still to this day is a marvel to those who travel on it and who recreate in and around it. For me, no trip back to St. Joe is really complete until I've had an opportunity to drive a couple sections of it. The St. Joseph City Hall, which was designed by the famed architect Eccles and Aldridge, I think in the entire United States is considered one of the finest city halls of any city of any size. And that's amazing when you consider the size of this town, which is only 80,000 people. But somewhere along the way, we lost our focus and our drive for excellence. Maybe it was because other cities like Omaha and Kansas City caught up with us and maybe passed us. Or maybe it was because we just stopped caring. Whatever the case, not long after, we began falling behind and we were called followers. As the comedian Mike Myers said in his movie Austin Powers, I've lost my mojo. Well, unfortunately, we lost our Saint mojo. Thank you for that. Well, today, that all changes. Today, we begin building the finest collegiate sports facility in all of Division II sports. Today, our St. Joe mojo is back. And this new facility will be a testament to it. I know it's hot. I kept my remarks short. I just want to say thank you again for honoring me in this way. Appreciate it.
You guys ready? Hey, Dave, can you get this rather than me? All right. In recognition of the tremendous support that Steve Craig has shown Missouri Western athletics and the university as a whole, I'm pleased to announce that the playing surface where we gather here today will be known forever as Craig Field at Spratt Memorial Stadium. Thank you very much.
What an exciting day this is, and again, thanks to Steve for his generous support, and again, thank you everybody for attending this very exciting day in Griffin Athletics. Thank you very much for coming out.